I want you to understand something about life. The way that you see life, or the way you are perceiving life, it is not just happening from the things that you're seeing. Your mind is where the foundation is. Your mental framework is how you see life. Now, life can be happening right now in the presence of three people. Like something is happening, an event is happening, and three people are witnessing this particular event. Now, those three people are going to have three recollection of that particular event. Do you know why? Because of their conditioning, their different conditioning. And if these three people are from different geography, one is from Africa, one is from China, one is from the West, they're going to have experience of that particular event that just happened in their presence, and it's going to be different for them. So how are they able to experience that particular event? Is from their mental framework. Your mental framework is how you're able to perceive life. And I wanted to say that before we actually get into today's topic. If you're not able to find out that you have a problem, you cannot be able to solve that problem. So you cannot have solution for a problem that does not exist. And for me, I had to get to the point where I started seeing the problem, and that was when I started to look for a solution. So if you are somebody that wants to change your life, it means that whatever it is you're experiencing right now, you don't want it. You want it to change. First of all, before you're able to change your life, you need to become aware of who you are, okay? Your mental framework. You need to become aware of the one you have right now. And then from there, you can decide if you want to change that framework, if you want to do something to that particular framework, because you can. So yeah, self-concept is the topic for today. Now, self-concept is practically how you perceive yourself, how you see yourself, the mental framework you use to define who you are. So who are you telling yourself you are? How are you experiencing life? How are you seeing yourself in this life? Are you seeing yourself in life as a victim? Because if you're seeing yourself as a victim of life, you're going to constantly be a victim of life. But if you're seeing life as something that is happening for you and not against you, trust me, you're going to be in control of the things that you're seeing in life, because life is a reflection of your mental framework. Self-concept is, who are you? Who do you tell yourself you are? Who do you believe yourself to be? Firstly, belief system. Your belief system is the foundation of how you see life. Your belief system is the foundation of how your life keep creating itself. In fact, belief system is actually the foundation, the main foundation. I'm calling it accordingly. So your belief system first, the next is the secondary, and the next one is tertiary. But yeah, the primary framework of your life comes from your belief system. And this is like saying that, do you see yourself as somebody that is worthy of this life? Do you see yourself as someone that is just loved by the universe, or do you see yourself as a victim of life? You see yourself as somebody that is unworthy? How do you see yourself? What do you believe? Because again, your belief system is the foundation of the whole mental framework. The next we're going to be talking about is identity. Identity is the secondary. Now, your belief system is the foundation, and this is the block, your identity. Identity is now built on the foundation that you have, which is your belief system. So the next is your identity. What do you identify yourself with? Do you identify yourself with a certain kind of being successful? Do you identify yourself as somebody that's, okay, this is who I am, okay, and that is it? Your identity, that is the building block to your mental framework. Okay, so the foundation is what? Your belief system. The next is what? Your identity. Now, the last but not the least is expectation. Expectation is the roof. This is the roof, the roofing of the house. Okay, this is the, for the framework, the mental framework, the roof is the expectations. Now, you have your belief system, and from your belief system, you have been able to build an identity out of that belief system. Because everybody that has a belief system has built an identity out of it, whether they are aware of it or not. This is what is happening to you. This is what is happening to every single person, okay? Every single person. Now, the final topping to the whole cake, or icing to the whole cake, is your expectation. Now, the expectation is, now that you have your layers and foundation, and you have your molding block. From that identity that you have created, what are the expectations you're working towards? What are the expectations you want to experience? What are the expectations that you are subconsciously or consciously trying to experience? So that's the three things, or the three foundations we're going to be talking about. Now, for you to change your self-concept, you have to become aware of the one that you are right now. The three things I've mentioned. You now have to become aware of everything right there. And if we bring them to light, we can be able to take out the ones we want to take out and bring in the ones we want to bring in. If we want to clear the whole building, clear the land and start afresh, which is building a fresh concept, like a new concept about self, then we'll start doing that. Okay, but let's become aware of how we got to become this person. How did I get to become this person? Like, how did I get to become the person that did not like the life that she's living and she wanted to change? Let's talk about it. Okay, now, self-concept is built over time, of course, from your age 0 to whatever age that you are right now, that you're able to understand me talk. Your self-concept has been building from the first day you stepped into this life, and from experiences, from social conditioning, and from repeated thoughts. It's a life story that you tell yourself. Now, self-concept is something that you tell yourself again and again and again about who you are, and this is what shapes your reality. Okay, so it was not something that happened to you just in a day or in a month or in a year. All your life, all your freaking life, everything that you've ever gone through, everything that you've ever experienced, that is how you built your self-concept. Now, you might not be aware of the things that you experienced while you were small, but trust me, that was when it was actually storing. Now, the belief that you grew up having about everything in life is 90 to 100% of time influenced by some certain people. So the belief system that you think you have right now that is shaping in your life, and you are so strongly holding on to that particular belief system, honey, you did not just come into that particular belief system. It was something that was influenced by some certain people in your life. And that is why a lot of time I come on here on my videos and I talk about religion. I actually did not know the concept of religion. Like, I did not know what religion was. I was just part of it. And until I got to the point in my life where I started asking questions like, what am I part of? What is this thing that I am part of? You know, I want to really understand what I am part of. I want to have like a personal experience with what I am part of, because I did not just come into this world and I automatically became a Christian. Now, what if I came into this world and I was a Muslim? What if I came into this world and I was a Jewish, or what? Like, I cannot just come into this life and just agree to what I have been taught. You know, I must understand, you know, who I am and how I've come to be. And when I was doing this, I felt like, okay, if I could have this particular knowledge of wanting to understand the religion that I am part of, it means that the God that I'm serving is not going to be like angry that, oh, why is this one trying to question me? No, God shouldn't be. God should actually be. That's what I was telling myself back then. I was like, okay, the God I was serving, or the God I believed I was serving, that right there should be like very happy that my child wants to get to know me and have like a personal experience. You know, that was what came to my mind. So I was like, yes, I must understand what I'm part of. And trying to now understand the religion I was part of, it was what opened my eyes to realizing that everything that I have been taught from the age 0 to that particular point of my life was a lie. And not until I started to ask questions, that's when I started seeing the answers. So imagine I did not ask questions. I would be stuck believing in just everything that they've been telling me from. You know, that's the belief system. I'm trying to explain to you how you got to get, or how you got to the point of having a belief system. You were influenced, okay? It is not your belief system. It is something that you were conditioned to. And let's talk about the people that influenced your belief system. Now, the first people that influence your belief system is your parents and your caregiver, okay? Your parents, your caregiver, your guardian, the people that brought you up, especially from that crucial age, the age 0 to age 7, that age where you are vulnerable, where you are empty, and everything that comes into you gets absorbed easily and it stays. That's a very crucial age. That's where I feel like that's when I learned a lot of things that, you know, governed, or that was creating my life back then. The people that you spend that particular age with, these are the people that actually condition you. These are the people that actually influence your belief system. Now, your early belief system are often shaped by your parents or your caregivers, and this is what they teach you directly or indirectly. And saying directly or indirectly is, these are the things that they consciously call you and tell you, this thing, this is how you should do this thing, this is how you should do this thing. And the indirect one is the thing that they were doing and they did not know that you were seeing or you were paying attention to. Okay, maybe they were, probably having problem in their relationship or having a problem with something, and the way they struggle with it, you were paying attention to it and you absorbed it. That is the indirect way of being conditioned. Okay, their words, their behavior, their attitude becomes the foundation of what you believe about yourself, about others, and about the world. You do not just come into the belief that, oh, the world is a dangerous place. Honey, you were conditioned to believe that. Now, probably your parents, one of your parents, it might not be the both, it might be maybe your mom or your dad is somebody that has had traumatic life. They have had so many experiences that they have been traumatized. And once somebody has been traumatized, now when they are living their life, they don't know that most times the trauma comes and they live through that trauma not knowing that, okay, other people are, maybe children are there and the children are paying attention. No, because it's trauma. When trauma hits you and you're having that particular experience, you don't care. Okay, so maybe one of your parents has probably been robbed, raped, something, and from that trauma they always want to make you or keep you safe. They want to make you understand that, okay, you need to be safe. And in doing that, they don't know that what they are doing to you is trying to limit your own experience. And they tell you that the world is a dangerous place. And now you grew up to fearing the world. You grew up to interacting the world in not so trusted way, because now you're scared of the world. You've grown up with this understanding that the world is a dangerous place, and now this is how you see the world, this is how you're perceiving the world. The belief that you have with nature, the belief that you have with animal, the belief that you have with the things that exist around you, you didn't just grow up having that particular belief system. You were influenced by, caregivers and your parents. They influenced your belief system towards these things. The belief you have about people, the belief you have about the material things. Most of the time, the connection or the attachment you have with things comes from the way you have been conditioned, comes from your belief system, comes from your emotional conviction. I don't know why I'm doing this, but you get me. It comes from your emotional attachments to that thing, which comes from your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind was programmed when you were small. Are you seeing me? Are you seeing how I'm taking you back to the roots? That is where the problem is coming from. The way you were conditioned, the way you were influenced. These are the things that are making you see life the way you see your life. So anyways, these are the first people that influence your belief system. These are the first people that influence the foundation of your mental framework. Now, the next thing that influence your mental framework, which is your belief system, is society and culture. Now, your parents have made you understand this about life. They've made you to understand that, okay, if you don't pray, this will happen. If you don't eat this one, this will happen. They've conditioned you to have a certain belief towards things, towards people, towards nature, towards life. Now, society and culture now condition you in another way, and that's what I want to talk about now. This is how society condition you. Now, they assign roles and influence people belief system about themselves through gender roles. So they assign roles to you. So you come into this life, you don't even know yet that you're a boy or you're a girl, but now society has already created that particular gender specification, and now you have to identify as one. So you're either a man or a girl. And when you're a boy, there is a certain role that has been assigned to the male child in this particular reality. There is a certain role that has been assigned to the female child in this particular reality. So once you identify as one, you don't even need to identify your gender. Your private parts is going to tell. That is how they start assigning you to your role. So you come into this world, you have a dick, and you're a boy. Yes, you have a dick. That automatically makes you a boy. There are roles that has been assigned to you. Okay, so that is how society conditions you. That is how society influences your belief system also. And if you're a girl, you came into this world, your private part, you have a pussy. That's the best one to have anyways. Yeah, now you come to this world, you're a girl. Society assign a role to you, okay? This is what a boy should do. That is what society is always saying. A boy is meant to do this, and this is what a girl is meant to do. Now, why do these beliefs stick? Now that we have understand that our belief system is what is fucking our life up, why did we allow this thing stick? Because trust me, honey, you did not have the power not to allow it stick. It had to stick. You didn't know you were going through a conditioning. I did not know I was going through a conditioning. I did not know I was going through a phase of programming. Now, I try to always explain programming on my channel as, because most people feel like when I talk about programming, when I talk about how people have been wired to think or conditioned to think, people feel like I'm talking about something very extra, and they were like, no, I'm not part of it. Nobody programmed me, nobody conditioned me. Now, I want to explain something again, because this is the best way I always explain it here on my channel. For you to be able to understand people speak in a certain language, or like the way you're understanding me speak right now, you have to go through a particular educational system, and that is a programming. Now, for you to understand that the alphabetical order, you were able to understand A, B, C, D, and from A, B, C, D, you went to A is for apple, B is for ball, and then now you can make sentence using an apple. Now, for you to go through that particular, what do you think is happening? You are doing this thing repeatedly. It is not something that was done to you just in one day. It is repeated. So for it to stick, it was repeated. So you had no option. You did not know you were going through programming. So that's why most times I say that we are not actually broken, because we don't know that this is what is happening. Now, when you come to know that this is what is happening, it is now in your hand to either change or stick with it, okay? But do not complain about your life, because you have the power to change it. So why did it stick? Now, subconscious mind is why it sticked, okay? You see why it sticked? Your mind, your subconscious mind, the repeated action. Now, during the age 0 to 7, the brain is in a very highly suggestive way. And when I say suggestive or suggestible, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I'm trying to tell you that the brain is in a state where everything that you tell the brain, it will absorb. Okay, the brain is empty and it is ready to absorb. It is easily influenced and it absorbs everything without questioning. That is when the brain is gullible. That's the best word. Okay, I was looking for the best word to use. Gullible is the best word. And that is when the brain is gullible. And that is why it sticks. It sticks because the subconscious mind was programmed at a very early age, and they knew that this is how the human body works. This is the best way to program a child. And once the child has been programmed from 0 to 7, now that child will become exactly what we want that child to be. This belief gets stored in the subconscious mind, which runs 95 to 100% of your daily thoughts and actions. So the daily thoughts you're having right now and the actions you're taking were probably placed into you from that age. The second way it was absorbed, or the second way it absorbed, is the repetition I talked about. The repetition. A, B, C, D for a long time now. A for apple for a long time now. You can make sentence. 1 times 1, 2 times 2. Those things are how they program you. Okay? And repetition and reinforcement will make something stick. I keep saying this on my channel. When you do something for the longest time, it becomes part of your routine. It becomes part of the programming. And that is how you can actually change yourself. That's how you can actually reprogram yourself, but we have not gotten to that. But I'm trying to let you know that repetition and reinforcement will make something stick. Okay, that is why those things were able to stick to your subconscious mind. If you now go ahead to now experience that thing again and again, you will keep getting that confirmation that this is it. So now you know that the universe is a mirror of who you think you are, your mental framework. So if your mental framework, you are always feeling like you're unworthy, the universe will keep showing you or putting you in an experience where you always feel unworthy. And now you are having a confirmation that yes, you're unworthy, and you keep going in the circle again and again and again, because you're the one reflecting it. Okay, you're the one having that particular mental framework that you are unworthy. That's the repetition. And now you're repeating it again and again and again and again and again, and you keep expressing it again and again and again. Now the third reason why those conditioning and those influences were able to stick is through emotional impact. The stronger the emotional attachment you have to an experience, the more deeply the belief gets. So for you to have a strong belief about something, you must have like a strong emotional attachment to that thing. And that is why it was very hard for me to escape religion. Yes, I escaped it because I already grew up having the conditioning where I had like emotional, like strong emotional attachment to religion. I believed in everything that my religion was telling me, and I believed it so well that even when I felt like I needed to change my life, the first thing that came to my head was trying to be a better Christian, trying to be, that was the first thing that came to my head, and that was the first thing I tried. But because I wanted to actually unlimit myself, I started trying that and also opening my mind to a lot of other things to just learn from the universe. And that's how I was able to now open up to learn. Like that's how my mental framework was able to expand to accommodate more, okay? Because I wanted to learn from everything and not just from one thing. But I started from wanting to become a better Christian. So when I felt like I needed to change my life, the first approach was become a better Christian. I wanted to now start reading the Bible more often, start praying more often, start doing more, Christian like things, just to keep my head, where I wanted to be. And yeah, I'm going to create a board for you right now. And in this board, I'm going to call out some beliefs. And I want you to tell yourself where those beliefs originate from. Because we're trying to solve an issue, right? And for us to solve that issue, let's fill in these boxes, okay? So I'm going to create a box for you. And these are the belief system. Now, the first belief system is, if you're somebody that feels like you're not good enough, you are not loved by the universe, if you're somebody that feels like you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're not loved by God or the universe, please, I want you to tell yourself where this particular belief originates from. Is it your own belief, or is it something that you have been conditioned to believe in? So write it, tell yourself, say this to yourself. And the next one is, you have to work hard for money. Where do you get that particular belief from? Where does it originate from? Because you not just grow up and start having that understanding that you need to be working to get money. It was something that you got to the point in your life where you just started seeing yourself always working hard for money. Everything that you do in life is for money. Please let yourself know where the origin of this particular belief comes from, because as I'm talking to you right now, there are people that are living life not working hard for nothing, and everything is coming to them because they are already in the state of attracting. They're already in the state of getting. There are people that are living that particular reality right now. It is not something that is happening in heaven or in another spiritual realm. It is happening physically right now. There were people that were conditioned to understand that the universe is full of abundance. There are people that were conditioned to understand that the universe gives once you ask, and they have been asking and receiving constantly. So for you that have been living a life where you have been working back to back for money, you have been working to get money, I want you to tell yourself where the origin of that particular belief comes from. Where is it coming from? Is it your own belief, or were you conditioned to have this particular belief? Now the next one is the relationship that you're having in life. Now the relationship that you're having in life, if it's painful, why is it painful? Where is it coming from? Why are you constantly in a relationship where you are always feeling pain? Why? The origin of that particular feeling, where is it coming from? Where is it coming from? Now this particular one might not be for everybody, because for me right now, the state where I am right now, I am not even concerned about relationship, but I have walked through these things that I'm talking about. I've walked through them. For me, it was like a shadow work. So I was shadow working when I went through this thing, okay? So if you're not in a state where relationship is something that you're trying to work towards, you don't need to do this particular one. But then in last but not the least is, the world is a dangerous place. I made mention of this in the beginning of my video where I was talking about your belief towards the world that you're experiencing. You were probably influenced by one of your parents or one of your caregivers to believe that the world was a dangerous place. That is, for me, that is where it came from. Now I have this particular phobia for water. Like I don't know how to swim. I'm always scared of swimming or even going into the water. And I believe that I got this particular belief or whatever it is that I am experiencing towards water, why I'm having phobia for water, I know that it came from one of my parents. It's not coming from myself because I've never drowned before. I've never gone into water and I was trying to drown. So it's not something that I actually experienced. I feel like it was imposed or influenced by one of my parents. So this is something I'm saying. I'm trying to let you know that this is the origin of my own problem. Like I just gave you an example of the drowning part, me and water. That's the origin. It comes from one of my parents. Now, I have not been able to pinpoint which of my parents. I want to say my mom. I'm not sure, but it comes from, that's the origin of my problem with water. So where is yours coming from? The world is a dangerous place. You're going out at night and you're always scared that, oh, this will happen, this will happen. Where is that belief coming from? Have you ever been, did you have like a first-hand experience with this? Or, so please go ahead and fill in this board and let's move into the next part of this video, okay?